Yes, guys. So yesterday we saw with respect to two things, individualism and communitarianism. See, I know I have not discussed about the syllabus and other parts. I'll explain you. The point is, I just want you to see one after the other. From yesterday, I told you that part A will have debates, part B will have history, social, society and politics. I'll go in detail and tell you which books also. But first, let us understand some things because that's a general traditional thing to tell. This is there in the syllabus. This is what you need to do. For every topic, I'll tell you what to read. Along with that, I'll give you some material as well. The only book expected is Opigoba. This book you take. Apart from that, I don't think anything else is required. Okay. So, guys, now political theory or political science. Both are aimed at only one thing. What? State. Politics is all about what? State only, right? What state does. Now the point is, on the basis of the state, we have certain aspects. One, state, okay, two things. State is prior to man. Okay? State is prior to man. State is created by God. Man has created state. See the three terms, guys. There is lot of debate only in these three things. Just look at it. What does it say? What is this first point? What do you understand by this? State is prior to man. What is the meaning of this? State came first, humans came later. Okay. Now we are all born after Indian state was formed. Correct? Yes. Now, if I try to say anything against my country, if I try to say anything against India, everyone will criticize and tell me, was this the reason why our freedom fighters died to give you independence? Are you getting the point? So, the moment I tell state came before human beings, I am trying to say that state is perfect, state is better, and we are all less than the state. Whatever state tells, we all should agree. This is what the meaning of state is prior to man. That means before we came, state came, and state is helping us to live our lives. That is the meaning of what? State is prior to man. Now, this will make whom to be powerful and whom to be weak. State is more powerful than man. You tell me, when state is more powerful than man, can I say that state can punish people? Yes. State, if you talk against state, can they punish you? Do you have something called sedition? Have you heard? If you talk against the state, will they punish you? Yes. That comes from what? State is prior to man. Here, at least you can scold state. Now, this you see, dangerous. Why? If you scold state, you're scolding God. Bharat Mata ki Jai, you should tell. If you don't tell Bharat Mata ki Jai, then you are insulting. Are you getting the point? So the moment you make state God, what is going to happen? State will become superpower compared to man. Iran, they say, state is created by Allah. We are all descendants of that. Whatever God says, we need to follow. I'll tell how Europeans try to interpret. Adam and Eve are there. Yes. God created Adam and Eve. Adam was the first person and he is the ruler of the world. His children are kings. His children are the kings. Now, God's children, can you question? Can you ever question God's children? No. That means, are you giving more power to whom? State. Are you getting the point? So now you tell, man has created state. You created state. Who is bigger and who is smaller? So here we say, man is bigger compared to what? State. This is the reason Supreme Court in most of the cases they tell, just because you are citizen doesn't mean anyone can take away your rights. Why? Because you are superior to state. And how do we know man is superior to state? It is said that the constitution is not given by God. Constitution is not given by, like, it did not come before us. Who created it? We. We the people have created it. You may question me, sir, if we, that means you tell me Indian state comes under what? Man has created state. Is it man, state is prior to man? Is state prior to you? All of you, before a state came? Yes? No, no, 1947. Before all of us were born, state came into picture, correct. But can I say you have been given the authority to change the state? Have you been given the authority to change the constitution? Yes. Do you have an authority to amend the constitution? Yes. If you can amend constitution, man is bigger than the state. Can you amend Bible? Can you amend Bhagavad Gita? Can you amend Quran? Then it is what? Are you getting the point? So, what is the relationship between man and state is what I'm trying to tell you. Different thinkers like Plato, Aristotle says state is prior to man. Okay. Some medieval philosophers say state is created by God. Locke and other modern philosophers try to say man has created state. Are you getting the point? Now, I want you to think about a very simple thing. Do you have something called fundamental rights? What is fundamental rights? Can you tell me from this point of view? Okay, everyone, I want you to tell from this point of view what is fundamental rights? Where does it fit in? Man is given rights. Okay, now, you tell me, can I say fundamental right means if state is trying to take away your rights? Can Supreme Court interfere and protect you the rights? Yes or no? Can I say whenever state tries to take away your rights, fundamental rights is protected for you by who? Supreme Court. Or can I say by public through elections and other processes? That means can I tell your right cannot be touched by the state? That is basically called as man has created state. And is it protected in the constitution itself? Is your rights protected in the constitution itself? That means you wrote your own protection and told state your duty is to protect my rights. So you see here, when state is created by God, God will tell you what to do and what not to do. Are you getting the point? When man has created the state, man will tell the state what to do and what not to do. In Iran, theocracy will be there. God ruled will be there. They have to wear burqa. Women cannot come out without wearing burqa. If she comes out, she will be beaten to death. I'm just trying to tell you. Saudi Arabia, if a lady comes out alone, without male, at least a small kid should be there with you. If she comes out without that, she will be tied and beaten to death just for coming out. Okay, now why no one questions the state? Everyone surrenders. Now you see here in India, what will happen? You tell me. Can you beat a person to death because of wearing burqa or not wearing burqa? Can she fight against that? Can she fight against a community? Can she fight against entire state? Can she win? Yes. Have you heard cases like individual versus state? Have you heard in fundamental rights you will have individual versus state? Can I say individual has won against the state? Individual can file case against the state. When will this occur? Man has created state. Now when you write preamble, when you see the word we the people, we the people, what is the meaning of that? Man has created state. So are you giving powers to the state or is state giving you powers? You are giving powers to the state. India comes under this. What about Pakistan? What about North Korea? State is powerful. What about China? State is powerful. Correct? In India, can government tell everyone should talk only in Hindi? Can they tell everyone should talk only this religion? Like you should follow only one religion. Why? I want to do what I want. You are only to protect me. That is the fundamental difference of us. So now you tell which is good for humans, which is bad for humans. These two, can I say, is threat because bad people can come to power and create trouble to us. But here, even if bad people come, can we replace them? Yes. So this is the fundamental difference. This is one of the main reason why if you don't stand for national anthem, you're not criticized. If you are silent without singing song, you're not criticized. If you don't follow your duties, you are not criticized. If you don't participate in elections, you are not criticized. If you don't come for voting, you are not criticized because you are bigger than the state. This is the fundamental difference. Fine. I'll come to other types, but first you write democracy. Not just democracy, modern state comes from this particular concept. Fine. So, state hyphen based on based on formation of state based on formation of state we normally see we normally see three different versions three different versions which is VRSIONS, which is debate debate in in political theory. Political theory. Okay. Can you write these three? Why? You may get anti-state here. When I say state came first and we came later, there will be people who will accept. But if God comes into picture, so God is superior than anything. No one questions. You can do anything in the name of God. Okay. No one can stop you. You write below. In ancient political thought, in ancient political thought, in ancient political thought, state was considered, state was considered as prayer to man, prayer to man. Here, here, state is, state is powerful, powerful, and state must be respected, respected. At this point, at this point, human beings, human beings were not allowed, were not allowed to be individualist. Now you tell when state is greater than man, that means can I say communitarian is greater than individualist? Fine. So not allowed to be individualist, and community rights, community rights becomes more important than than individual rights. Next, in medieval, in medieval period, in medieval period, religion, religion had significant influence, had significant influence on humans, on humans, due to which, due to which they considered, they considered state, state as a creation, state as a creation of God. So when God creates a state, when God creates a state, then then state cannot do mistake, correct? Because God cannot do mistake. State cannot do mistake, and whatever state state argues, argues, people should, people should obey, people should obey. This leads to dictatorship. Correct? This leads to dictatorship. Example, example, Hitler, Hitler tried to, tried to make state, make state a symbol of unity, a symbol of unity associated with, associated with Aryan race. I'll be explaining Hitler and all in detail, guys. Aryan race. In Iran, in Iran, state is theocratic. Theocratic. Theo, wherever you see God. Okay. Demo is people. Fine. Auto, self, individual. Right. Authoritarian, autocratic. Basically, Saddam Hussein, Kim Jong Un. They are called as what? Autocrat. Democratic people. Theo, God. Right. In Iran, state is theocratic and they follow, they follow religious principles, religious principles, and people do not have rights, and people do not have rights. Now guys, please see why there is shift from this to this. Okay, in Europe people understood that in the name of God lot of atrocities are being done. You might have heard Catholic Christianity and Protestants, right? So Protestants argued that in the name of religion lot of mistakes are being done, and there came the concept of Renaissance, right? The moment Renaissance, Renaissance means rebirth. What is rebirth here? Earlier you were only thinking about God. Now your rationality comes into picture, your thinking capacity comes into picture. The moment man can think, okay, why this was powerful? God is powerful than humans because man cannot think for himself. When it comes to man has created the state, it is like man has the ability to think. So in this concept, previous concept, man is irrational, he can't think for himself. Now what are they telling? Man is rational. What is meaning of rationality? No, not just that. You see, I'll explain this term. Many people get confused. If, okay, merits are 9, demerits are 2. Okay, while taking a decision, there are 9 merits, 2 demerits. Okay, now what are the demerits? If any person, even after knowing that there are 9 merits and 2 demerits, okay, product A, product B has, like, 3 merits, 9 demerits. So can you tell which one to be selected, which one should not be selected? A must be selected. Yes. B, no. Now for example, let us say you want to purchase a phone, okay, and the phone has lot of positives. You selected a phone, lot of benefits are there in that phone, cost effective, like, easy to carry, charging is faster, a lot of things are there, positive. Okay, in this, you have a phone which is pink in color and you like pink color. Okay, now you chose this phone rather than this just because you like the color. That is called as what? Paying 500 rupees for a cup of tea just because ambience is good. Okay, so what is that called? Irrationality. Okay, paying money because tea is good is different. You pay money if tea is good. Don't pay money because chair is good, table is good. That is called as what? Irrational. So when you look at the merits and demerits and then come to conclusion, then it is called as what? Rational. Okay. So the moment man became rational, this concept comes into picture, which is the age we are talking about. What is the age called as? Renaissance. Guys, just remember one thing. The moment in political theory, Renaissance comes into picture, what is replaced with what? Irrationality will be replaced with rationality. And what is the basic difference here? Man is rational. Please understand. Let me give you a very simple example. Why below 18 years, whatever marriage you do is not accepted by the government or court, correct? 18 years below, whatever decision you take, it is not accepted. After 18 years, can I say marriage, voting, everything is permitted? Why? Why do you think so? Physically and mentally, you are able to take a decision. Yes. Now, the basic point here is today, the moment you become IAS officer, now you see the way your parents treat. Okay. If you tell, I'll take a decision, I want this or that, your parents will tell, that is not good, take this. You have to accept. Why? Because they tell you, you don't know how to think, you don't know what you want, I know what you want. You see, this is what parents tell. You don't know what you want, I know what you want. The moment you clear the exam, you become IAS. Your parents will listen to every line that you tell. Not because you did something. They believe you are rational. You can, if you can think for a district, you can think for yourself. That is the fundamental difference. This is the reason children and others, animals, if they do any mistake, you don't punish them. Why below 18 years? You are not punished. Juvenile Justice Act and all is there, right? Below 16 years, you're not punished. Why? After a particular age, you come to what? Rational. So, you tell me, can I punish you when you are irrational? No. Can I punish you when you are rational? Yes. That is where these things comes into picture. Renaissance made man to move from where to where? Irrationality to rationality. The moment I tell man can think for himself, there is no need of God. Correct? There is no need of God. When man cannot think for himself, who is required? Someone is required to support. And that someone is who? God. This is the fundamental difference. Okay. So previously, in these two, man is irrational. In this, man is rational. Fine. So you write below. People, Iran thinks people cannot think for themselves. North Korea thinks people cannot think for themselves. Even, huh, uh, you really, you tell me now, uh, in India, how many do you think will think for themselves while voting? What is considered while voting? Caste, good. Cash, caste, cash, liquor, liquor. Huh. So, Are we rational? How many people in India vote on the basis of rationality? Even the leader is from, even if the leader is from your caste, whatever he does is right. If he comes from jail also, people will clap, whistle, like, see, I have heard people feeling proud. How many crores did he take? See, my boss, like, he took these many crores and he did not get caught. They'll be proud about it. So, I'm telling you, are we really rational? No. Will we be rational ever? Depends on the situation. Depends on the situation, not on anything else. This is debate. I want you to talk. See, counter, you ask and tell, because political theory is all about the debate zone. The moment you debate, you fit into someone. You have only three. You fit somewhere. So you understand what is your ideology by looking at this. Okay. So what you wrote? Sorry. Iran. Yeah. Next you write. After after Renaissance, Renaissance, there is fundamental shift. There is a fundamental shift in political theory. In political theory, where where people were considered people were considered as rational, and people's decision were respected. People's decision were respected. This led to this led to shift from monarchy to democracy. Fine. Yes, monarchy. You don't know anything, king knows everything, so listen to king. Democracy. You know better, so you decide who should rule and who should not. That is a fundamental difference. Fine. In monarchy, you write, in monarchy, king is supreme, king is supreme, and and king will decide, king will decide what is beneficial for people. What is beneficial for people? Here the assumption, here the assumption is that is that people are people are irrational, irrational, and they cannot think for themselves. Next paragraph. When we consider when we consider democracy, democracy, it is rule rule by the people, by the people where where people are rational, people are rational, and and they know they know what is good for them. They know what is good for them. So through through social contract, social contract among the people, among the people, state is created. State is created. Full stop. As man creates a state, as man creates state, state has to function. State has to function in accordance with, in accordance with people. There is basic structure. So the point is, can we change to such an extent where the ideals are completely removed? To be frank, can Parliament do change? Yes. Parliament is accepting Supreme Court verdict. Please understand. I'm just telling you, executive, judiciary, legislature, three are there, right? When legislature does anything, judiciary is telling this is wrong, right? But the point is, who is implementing it? No, who is implementing among the three? Legislature and executive, correct? Legislature and executive are implementing what Supreme Court is also telling. That means if Supreme Court tomorrow says this is wrong, and if executive says I won't follow your orders, what can judiciary do? You think what can judiciary do? Tomorrow, executive will come and tell NJAC must be implemented. Judges will be appointed by us. If you want, you work or don't work. Can anyone do anything? Will judiciary be powerful at that time? No. Correct? Point is, there is mutual respect given to each one, where there is debate between Supreme Court and judiciary. Sorry, Supreme Court and legislature. The most important thing I want you to know is judiciary will not cross down any law simply by its own opinion. It will give power to argue on both sides. Both have to argue and convince Supreme Court that it is not changing the ideals that we were aiming for. No, some ideals we want to keep forever. That's where the values comes into picture. If you really want to change, that's what I'm trying to tell. If you really want to change, Modi has given a very good statement with respect to this. So with the mandate that you have given us, we could change only this. People, if you have given 400 plus, the way I will change will be different. Because 400 plus, can I say two-third majority? Constitutional amendment, again and again if you pass, Supreme Court also cannot do anything. So there is like mutual benefits for both. So what I'm trying to tell, yes, Supreme Court is there, but it is for their own good to ensure that someone is not overriding your powers. Look at it from that point of view. rather than seeing that Supreme Court is an obstacle to people's cleverness. Can I say men are not rational? Voting is not completely rational. So at that point of time, can I say there is possibility of someone driving the emotions of the people? And then can they change it to dictatorship? At that time, do you need a system to question it? Yes. Ultimately, you see in UK, who is very powerful, not Supreme Court. Parliament is very powerful. Why? Because there people are rational. Here people are not completely rational. That's why checks and balances are important. Are you getting the point? Yeah. So a function in accordance with people. Full stop. Here, people will give people will give certain certain contract to state, and because of contract to state, and because of this, people will enjoy people will enjoy more rights. People will enjoy more rights. Okay. Is all this is for your understanding. You have to sit and read every line and see what I'm trying to tell you. Because when we enter into philosophers and all, concepts will be little different. Okay. You will be knowing who is falling into what. Now, if you see state, guys, how it has evolved. Initially, state was seen as kingdom. Okay. The moment I say state is a kingdom, they used to call state is a living organism. What is the meaning of state is living organism? Living organism, do they grow? Living organism, do they grow? Huh. If they grow, can I say they take other things also? Yes. When I say state is living organism, that means can I say state has a right to take other territories? China says my state is living organism. Arunachal is mine. South China Sea is mine. East China Sea is mine. What is that called? I am living organism. Hitler told state is a living organism. Entire Europe is Germany. This is called as what? Kingdom thinks state is a living organism. Because of this, fights keep on happening. Think about it. Why do states fight? Can I say territory? Territorial disputes will be there. How to stop territorial disputes? How to stop people fighting for the territory, Jammu Kashmir? How to stop that from occurring? By fixing what? Territory. Are you understanding? So this is the fundamental thing about modern state. What is the difference between kingdom and the state? Have you seen India map was never same? Marathas keep changing. Vijayanagara Empire keep changing. Can I say everything kept on changing? Only after 1947 it is little bit fixed. In that also China takes little bit, they go back. This occurs. See, first thing is we fixed what? Territory. Okay. Second thing, what I do now, Pakistan. Pakistan wants to take Jammu Kashmir. They're not taking Jammu Kashmir, but what they're trying to do, they're trying to interfere in the policies of Jammu Kashmir. Are they trying to support the population and all? Can I say whatever happens in Jammu Kashmir is my issue? Why is Pakistan interfering in that? So, for that, what is important? What is important? Sovereignty. Third, you should have a proper government, and if any territory is yours and if anyone is born in that territory, if anyone is present in that territory, they are your citizens. No one can deny that. That is what is called as what? Population. You need to have a representative called as what? Government. See guys, kingdom was a living organism. In a kingdom, like territory was fixed. There was no sovereignty. Pope used to interfere. Pope used to tell what to do, what not to do. There was no fixed government. People keep changing. One will come till they take control. Population also keep changing. For example, someone came and captured one territory, they become part of that country. So that was a regular phenomena at that time. So to reduce problems between the states, there was a treaty in Europe called as Treaty of Westphalia. According to Treaty of Westphalia, people said modern state must have these four things. Are you getting the point? So we are moving from where to where? Kingdom to this. What is a kingdom? Kingdom will be thinking that state is a living organism. If state is a living organism, it has a birth, it has a birth, it has death. That is the reason you always read kingdoms as who started and how it ended. Correct? So when you consider state as a living organism, birth will be there, death will be there. But when you consider state as modern, it will be fixed and it never ends. United States was formed when? Even today it is there. UK was formed when? Even today it is there. Why? Because they considered this to be fixed. 1648 onwards, it's fixed. Before that, it used to change. Are you getting the point? That is evolution of the state. Fine. So you write evolution of state, evolution of state. Hyphen. Initially, initially, there was monarchy. There was monarchy where, where people used to assume, people used to assume that state is living organism, living organism, and and can increase its size. It can increase its size and decrease its size. And it can increase its size and decrease its size. This led to this led to several wars. WARS. Several wars in Europe. In Europe. When Hitler, when Hitler argued that argued that Germany Germany is a living organism, is a living organism, it led to it led to Second World War. Second World War. Used to. All the states, all the states thought rationally, thought rationally, and tried to remove the dispute, remove the dispute between them, between them, by creating creating modern state modern state on the basis of on the basis of Treaty of Westphalia. Treaty of Westphalia. First, according to this, according to this, modern state will have modern state will have four components. Four components: territory, territory, sovereignty, sovereignty, government, fixed population. Fixed population. Next, European state, post-colonial state, globalized state. Fine. You write this heading: European state, post-colonial state, globalized state. Globalized state. So you see here, this particular part is Portuguese. Okay, Portugal. All Portuguese people came together and they established Portugal. They all believe that Portugal has one country and they respect their country. They pray for their country. That is called European state. Everyone within the state will respect their constitution. No one will question their constitution. Everyone will respect it. That means state is sovereign internally, and externally no one can interfere and tell what to do and what not to do. Means, can I say state is sovereign? Externally also, internally also. When anyone questions the state from within the country, then it is called as what? Like, internal sovereignty threat. Okay. Now, when all people are Hindus, when all people are Muslims, it's easy to tell that let us follow this religion. Let us follow this culture. It's very easy for us to discuss. Now, take the same case with Africa. Does it look like boxes? Yes. Now, if you take Algeria, Within Algeria, some Tunisia people will be there, some Libyan people will be there. Can I say if you write a box, it will have majority and minority? Will majority make a rule? Will minority oppose it? Will that lead to conflict? Yes, can I say minorities doesn't question majority? Sorry, doesn't accept majority. So can I say constitution is not accepted by everyone? If constitution is not accepted by everyone, do you have internal sovereignty or you don't have internal sovereignty? You do not have internal sovereignty. That is the basic point that you see in this particular aspect. Are you getting the point? Is Africa post-colonial state? Was Africa created by Europeans? That is, states are created. Is India created by British? Is Pakistan created by British? Is that the reason why do we have Naxalism, Jammu Kashmir issue, Northeast issue? Pakistan has Baluch issue. Have you heard? Yes. Why is it? Because state is created by Britishers. That is a problem with what? Post-colonial state. But have you heard about European Union? This is European Union. Do you have state here? There is no state because people can move from one country to another country. Goods can move from one country to another country. For all of them, there is one government. Can I say in present era, as people move from one country to another country without restriction, we have entered into globalized state. In globalized state, there is no nation. Today, Europe, can I say, is mixed with everyone? Is Europeans only Christians? Everyone is there. Like, you might have seen Rishi Sunak, like, in UK, going and celebrating Diwali. Okay. Can I say that is an indication of Indian culture in Europe? Can I say Islamic culture is in Europe? Christian culture is in Europe? Can I say, uh, like, what do you call it as Hyderabad? Hyderabad has mixed culture. Delhi has mixed culture. Bangalore has mixed culture. That is called cosmopolitanism. When all the cultures come together, what is it called? Cosmopolitanism. You tell me, can you demarcate boundaries within Europe today clearly that Portuguese are only present here, Spanish are only present here? No, right? That is where people are disconnected from the state in the globalized world. Okay, no, you tell me, a Hindu living in, okay, a Punjabi living in Canada. Okay, is he worried about Christianity? Or is he worried about his like Punjabi culture? He's worried about more Punjabi culture. So the point what I'm trying to tell is when only German people are there, I will be more worried about German culture. Within Germany, if Muslims are there, Christian, like Hindus are there and all, are we worried about German culture? We will tell let it go. That's how things change. So I'm just trying to tell globalized world, people are not on the basis of culture. In Hyderabad, do you expect one culture to be predominant? Do you have all festivals? Hindus eat more biryani and other things compared to Halim and all. Like, actually Muslims will be doing fasting. Hindus will be roaming around eating. Right? I'm just trying to tell that is cosmopolitanism where you cannot tell that one culture dominates. Initially you tell me, can I say in Europe, what happened? Portuguese established what? Portugal. Germans established what? Germany. Huh. These Europeans, what did they do? They, like, created every state in such a way that there will be majority and minority. The moment you have majority and minority, what is the problem that you will face? You will have internal problems, correct? Will there be civil war? Yes. Can I give example of Sri Lanka, everyone? In Sri Lanka, which two groups will fight? Sinhalese and Tamils. Good. Is Sri Lanka created by Britishers? Yes. Britishers created Sri Lanka. Now you take globalized state. What is the concept of globalized state? State has blurred. What is the meaning of that? There is no proper boundary. Can I say boundary is removed for movement of people, movement of goods? The moment boundary is removed for people movement, what is going to happen? There is no fixed state. Anyone can come, anyone can go. That is globalized or cosmopolitanism. We'll see that in greater detail, but did you understand the shift? Is it different or is it same? Different. Guys, even today, our state is in this form only. Only Europe has become this. They have problems. Who is facing problems of migration? Illegal migration, refugees. Who is facing? Europe is facing. Why are they facing? Because of this. That's what mains question. Why is Europe today having crisis? Migration crisis. Because the state has moved from nation state or European state to globalized state. Why do we have internal problems? Why not Europe? Because ours is a post-colonial state. Are you getting the point? So why does India has Manipur issue? Why does India has Nagaland issue? Why does India has Jammu Kashmir issue? Because state is having this problem. Okay, so you write below Europeans formed state. Yeah, you write one below the other. No need to demark it. Europeans formed the state on the basis of language, language, religion, religion, or culture, or culture. Due to this, due to this, people obey the state. People obey the state, and there is no internal threat. There is no internal threat. They will mostly have. They will mostly have external threat, which actually led to which actually led to world war. Which actually led to world war. Next, in Africa, in Africa, Asia, Asia, state is created. State is created by colonial power. By colonial power, and and within the state, within the state, there are multiple communities. There are multiple communities which led to which led to majority and minority. Majority and minority. As there are as there are different communities, different communities There are internal problems. There are internal problems which lead to civil war. Civil war. Example, example, Baluch crisis in Pakistan. Baluch crisis in Pakistan. Comma. Sinhalese and Tamil issue. Sinhalese and Tamil issue in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka. Next. We can, ma'am, to some extent. But what has happened? Most of them are what do you call it as Spanish, right? Brazil will come under Portuguese. They fight, but through football. Okay. So next, globalized state. Globalized state. Post 1990s. Post 1990s. With goods movement. With goods movement and and people movement. People movement. Modern state. Modern state has lost its population. Has lost its population and its territory. And its territory is porous. Is porous. Means people can move easily. Is porous. Due to this, due to this, globalized state, globalized state may not have, may not have interstate issues, interstate issues, but they have issues from, but they have issues from migrants, migrants like like terrorism. Can I say globalization? People movements, terrorists also move. That is the new age problems. Fine. State won't be there. Particular state. Okay. So what he is trying to say is the moment globalization increases over a period of time, you will see two problems. One is people will stop associating themselves with a particular religion, community, and all. And that is true when it comes to urban areas, correct? So when you come to urban area, you talk to people, you don't talk to religion, you don't talk to caste. With before shaking hand, you don't ask who you are. You go to village, they will tell which house you came. Like, immediately they'll get to know your background and then they decide how to treat you, correct? But true, identities will be lost. But is it done by MNCs, multinational corporations? Will they benefit? Yes. That's a different case altogether. That will see benefits, merits and demerits of globalization. We'll see. But you got this. Terrorism is the biggest threat for whom? Globalization. Today we are facing, right? So guys, are you understanding the concepts? Are you able to know what we are talking about? Yes. So, did you bring political theory? Can you? Class 11th NCRT, political theory is there. Okay. So, Monday, when you come, I want you to read the chapter on freedom. Okay. See, this book, at least one question will come, and it's helpful for ethics, essay, PSIR as well. I want you to make notes for this. Right. So, just every day I'll show you what to read. If you can read and make notes separately, it will be helpful. Now, you see. So, this chapter is from 17 to 30. Okay. So, guys, the moment you see freedom, in this there will be definition of freedom. Definition of freedom. And you will also have stories. Two people's stories are there. One is Nelson Mandela. Another one is Aung San Suu Kyi. Okay. There is a book written by them also. In your essays, rather than writing some plain things, if you can write the book name, if you can write in this book, Nelson Mandela spoke like this, they will feel you have read the book. Okay. It's very important to give that opinion, right? So you need to have the stories. You see, what is freedom? That definition is always asked. What is freedom? Absence of constraints they have given. Sources of constraints. Okay. Uh, I want you to see till sources of constraints 21. You can write anywhere 17 to 21, not beyond that, because you have harm principle and all. You might understand or you might not understand. Then I'll go to freedom of expression and all. I'll give a gist. I want you to see this. Okay? Make notes. I'm telling you, a philosophical essay cannot be written without case studies, without examples. And you can't go in search of other things. Utilize the same thing for that as well. Okay, let's go slow. By the time we complete, what do you call PSAR, we'll be able to do all the what do you call NCRTs, history, polity, sociology, society NCRTs are there, right? That also I'll try to cover. So the three, what exactly you need to search, I'll tell, because different books have different content. So this I want you to know the students. Whenever you write, whenever you talk about freedom or liberty, you are talking about Aung San Suu Kyi and Nelson Mandela. No, try to know about them a little bit and talk from their point of view. That is how you build your answer. Terminology should be same as this. You may expect same questions as well. Why do we need constraints? Do you have a topic like reasonable restrictions? Fundamental rights, there is reasonable restriction. Why do you need, why there is reasonable restrictions? For that, this is the answer. NCRT has all mains questions, guys. If you don't make notes, you're out of the box. I'm telling you, let's do everything together, because as I told you, you have chosen one of the lengthiest one, but it should benefit you for 1250 marks, not just 500 what we are studying. And I'm introducing these terms because the moment we read Plato, Aristotle and all, you will see that Plato says, Aristotle says, state is prior to man. The moment you look into it, you understand what he is trying to tell. So, others will criticize, modern thinkers will criticize Plato, Aristotle by telling that you are against open society. You are not supporting open society. You tell me, the moment you give more power to state, will state give you rights to do whatever you want? No. When state is not giving you whatever you want, that means, can I tell it is against modern principles? So Plato, Aristotle are considered as enemies of open society. This is how they give statements. For understanding such concepts, these basic principles are required. Okay. So Monday 5:30, Monday to Friday will, okay. Monday 5:30, I'll start with Plato. Fine. So it will be till 7:30. Whatever books you have, it's fine. After completion of Plato completely, bring OP Goba. I'll show you where you have to read. After Plato, Aristotle, I'll give you test together. Okay, because those two are connected. Every thinker will need at least 3 days to complete this. So you have some 11 thinkers. That itself will take time. Okay. So thank you, guys.